right, hi everyone. We have something very special today that we've been planning for a while. It's a little different than usual, but basically, I'm here with my friend Pobega. Say hi, Pobega.
Hello, Pobega.
Thanks. And he is a fighting game expert. He's been playing for years and years, and he's going to share some wisdom. So I'm hoping to learn from him. I've played fighting games very casually, so I think it'll be a pretty good time, or at least I'm hoping so. Jay, thank you so much. Super appreciate it. And folks, also, if you do apostrophe Pobega, there's a special little shout out there as well, which he may get mad about, but sorry. I had to do it. Oh, stop. Much appreciated.
I had my Prime. The freebie.
Thank you. But yeah, hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's having a great Friday. Pobega, I don't know if you saw what I called this.
No, hold on, let me check.
Oh, okay.
From bum to champ.
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Thank you.
Champ will come a long time later, though.
Oh, thank you for being realistic.
Not because of you.
Oh.
I'm not even close to that.
I see.
It's a long road.
It wouldn't let me put Chump, which sounded better, but it said it went against
Chump,
Twitch moderation.
Chump would have been better.
It would have been, but it didn't allow me, so.
Maybe it's offensive.
To some, I'm sure. And Joe, thank you so much. Super duper appreciate it. How is everybody? And thank you for all the support. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit our game screen here. So Pobega, did you want to talk about like what got you into fighting games?
One of my buddies. I didn't play them until college, and then my friend taught me that you could do a wake-up Shoryuken, and I said, oh, I always thought they were button mashers. And then, I don't know, I've always been incentivized to beat my friends, you know? And then I made friends playing fighting games, and then I just wanted to beat them, and I was basically just always, and I still am, I always just want to keep learning so I can beat them. And when I become the best at a game in my friends group, I basically drop it.
You're like, mission accomplished, I'm done.
Yeah, I don't need to win tournaments, you know. I'm an old man now. I don't got to go to tournaments and show up little 17-year-olds or anything. I just want to beat my buddies.
Last time I went to a tournament was a Smash tournament, and I fought like a 14-year-old in a fedora, and I won that one, and then I lost to like an 8-year-old who looked so bored when we were done. He was just like, okay, next, and I was like, damn.
So I got a quick story for you.
Sure.
When I was first, I'd say 4 years into playing fighting games, 2013, me and my buddy, we took a trip to Vegas and we went to EVO. I've been to EVO twice, but that was my first time. EVO, you know, the big world tournament thing.
Mm-hmm.
Or at the time it was. Now all the companies do their own.
Yes.
And at the time I was really into, I was into a few games. I was playing Marvel and I was playing Street Fighter, but I was really into Skullgirls, which had just released, and it was the first EVO for Skullgirls. And I get there and I'm winning. I'm like 2-0 right now in the bracket. I'm feeling good. It's my first time going 2-0, you know. And this 11-year-old pulls up and he looks at my characters. At the character select screen, he says, oh, okay. And he destroys me. And this kid ended up winning the whole tournament.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome though.
And it was so bad. I lost. I was so demoralized afterwards, I lost to the next person.
Oh man.
Immediately. So I only won 2-2, which is probably the best I've ever done in a big tournament like that. But
I just love how he looked and he was like, okay, I could do this.
I got this, yeah.
Aw. All right. Well, I think for me, when I was growing up, we had a PlayStation 2 and my sister and I played Tekken 3. So that was like my first introduction and only introduction to it. And then years and years later, when I was together with Bleep, he was like, let's play Street Fighter. And I can't remember if it was 4 or 5. It was probably around like 2014, 2015. And then after that, played a little bit of Dragon Ball FighterZ, a little bit of Guilty Gear, not the newest one. And a tiny bit of Grand Blue.
Exerd Rev 2 or whatever?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
And then a tiny bit of Grand Blue when it had like the little beta, like the beta testing. Got my ass kicked over and over.
I'm actually... Have you seen that they're going to do more Grand Blue and they're giving it rollback?
Yes. Yep.
Which I'm pretty excited for because I wanted to play Grand Blue, but it was really it came at an unfortunate time, right? It dropped, and then
Yep.
it had garbage netcode, and then 3 months later, COVID happened.
Yep.
So the game kind of died before it had a chance to live.
Yeah. Do you think at this point there's too many fighting games or not enough?
No, I think there's a perfect amount, honestly.
Okay.
There's a lot of fighting games that are becoming more and more accessible, which I think I personally think it's a good thing. I know there's a lot of I love gatekeeping. I freaking love gatekeeping. It's a hobby of mine.
Wow.
But I don't really feel a need to gatekeep like execution. You know, I think it's good that games are becoming more and more accessible to people.
Okay.
In reasonable ways. And which is actually also what I was going to say is this is a great time to like get into fighting games semi-seriously, because it will only get easier from here with things like Project L from Riot Games on the horizon. Street Fighter 6 has like the progressive input mode or whatever they call it. I think it has 2 easy modes. There's like a simple input mode, and then there's a Smash-like input mode. And you could still opt to just do it the regular way. So this is a great time to get into them. They're very accessible. The netcode is good. You could just practice in unranked games, you know, just for funsies.
Well, see, my worry, and I think my experience was, for example, Bleep constantly kicked my ass when it came to Street Fighter because I was trying to learn it for the first time, and he was already playing it, you know, for some time. But then when we both got into Dragon Ball at the same time, I felt like I had more of a chance because we were both learning the game at the same time. So when it comes to, oh geez, where am I? What did I do? When it comes to playing with like other people, like ranked matches, I just feel like it's tough. Oh, I'm hit the wrong button. That's why.
No, it's definitely tough.
There we go.
It's the thing with fighting games is that you kind of have to. All right, so I'll compare it to chess, right? If you're playing chess for the first time, or even the 100th time, you're not really playing your opponent, right? You're playing chess. You're like trying to figure out what pieces do what, and like what's the best way for me to move. Fighting games, once you break like a certain threshold, you get to play your opponent very quickly as opposed to playing the mechanics, which is where the games shine. So that's really the goal here. You know, I'm not going to make you a master, but if I can get you to the point of being able to understand what's happening on screen, you could apply that to every fighting game, right? You could apply that in 10 years from now to a new fighting game.
Right.
Like, because we're talking the real basics here.
Yeah. So I'm going to leave... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say I'm just going to leave that V skill and V trigger as what it has as default, because I'm honestly not sure what that does.
Don't worry about it. We're not using those, and realistically, we're not playing 5. We'll, you know, if we do a couple more lessons, we'll revisit this when 6 drops.
Oh, okay.
Which is I got a chance to play it. It's a lot better than 5. Not a big fan of 5.
This is the path.
But it has rollback, so. All right, so you know the basics of Ryu, right?
No.
Okay. I mean, you know Hadoken.
I'd have to... I can't remember.
Ooh, okay.
Hold on.
All right.
This is going to be like super duper basics.
That's fine. The Hadoken is quarter circle forward punch. So you start from down, down, forward, forward, and then you hit punch, like in one sweeping motion.
Okay. There we go.
There you go. And then the same thing, quarter circle backwards kick is hurricane kick. So you would start down and then swing the controller backwards.
Whoops. Hold on.
You got to do it pretty fast. It's like one smooth motion. Here, switch sides, because then it'll be the same direction as Hadoken was before.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Because don't forget, it's all relative to your character's facing, right?
Gotcha.
And then there's one more move. Oh, I guess there's technically 2. Donkey kick is on. I don't know what it's actually called. Everybody just calls it donkey kick. It's on quarter circle forward kick.
Okay. Whoops. I don't know why I ended up doing that.
Are you playing on a controller?
No, I'm playing on a stick.
Okay. That's fine though. Donkey kick's not that important.
Okay.
The other important one is Dragon Punch, which is a little more complicated. It's forward, down, down, forward. So if you could visualize the way your stick is moving, it's called a Z motion.
Time over.
Right? Because you start in the center, forward, down, down, forward. It's making a Z.
Round 2.
Okay.
Fight.
And then punch. And you'll get a dragon punch.
Nope.
Or there's a few shortcuts for that.
Okay.
The first shortcut is doing 2 quarter circles really fast. But there you go. But that one's a little risky because that's the same input as your super. So when you have full bar, you'll do your super.
Mm-hmm.
The other shortcut is if you're crouching. So you're using a square gate, I assume?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, so like when you move the controller around the edges, your
Mhm.
stick around the edges, is it a square or is it an octagon?
Oh, actually, I
Like,
think it
you
might
feel
be an
the
octagon.
corners?
Yeah,
So you're an octo gate on that?
I believe so.
Well, are you like if you go into the down position, are you locked into the down, or can you still jiggle it left and right?
No, I can still jiggle it.
Then you're in a square gate. Like you could feel
Oh.
the corners of a square gate as
Gotcha.
opposed to an 8-way gate. So what you do from a crouching position
Mhm.
is you just, if you're holding down back, right?
Yep.
You would go to the other corner, so down forward,
Mhm.
then back to down back, then to down forward again. So you basically just jiggle it along the bottom
Mhm.
and then hit punch.
Okay, let's try.
So you don't even have to, yeah, there you go. That's the easiest way to do it.
Okay. I can
The
do that.
little modern shortcut. Yep. That's it. That's the basics of Ryu's specials, which are ultimately not that important. I mean, they are overall, but for this lesson, you're not going to use them that much.
Yeah.
Over.
But
Very difficult fight.
this might be intelligence check on me for Street Fighter V. But Hurricane Kick, in most games, goes over fireballs, which is actually usually an important thing. So, like, if you fireball me again,
Whoops, hold on.
yeah.
Ah, okay.
So that's an important little thing, because if you were to fireball in my face, and I knew it was coming, I
Right.
could just Hurricane Kick you on reaction, you know, like that.
Right. So instead
so
of
you wanna try it?
wasting, in a second, yeah. So instead of wasting time, like either crouching or just trying to block, you can be more offensive with it.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Oops, I wasn't ready.
I'll do a slow fireball.
Okay.
I'll do a light fireball, so you have a lot of time. Oh, make sure you're doing the medium kick one.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if there's a difference.
Hold on.
I think light kick might not go high enough.
Now we got it.
There you go. That was basically over it, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think I'm just doing the light kick.
Yep. All right. You don't have to be able to execute it as much as be aware that it exists, right?
Right.
So the other one, the Shoryuken, that one that's probably the that and Hadoken are your two most important. Hurricane Kick over Fireball, it's more of like a situational matchup thing. You're not really going to use that, but here, hit play so we can jump right back in. Shoryuken, which you might know this already, is your anti-air. So when someone's jumping on you, you would Shoryuken them. So this is the cornerstone of Ryu's game plan, right? Is that I'm going to be chucking plasma, and then you're going to try to jump over it,
Right. Like that.
and I'm
And
gonna
then you
DP
catch me. Ooh.
Yep.
That's mean.
The cornerstone. That's why, like, you want to stay at certain ranges with characters.
Yeah. Just trying to get that kick again. Ooh, let's see. There we go.
Yeah, I'm not sure the timing on what makes it, like, you have to already be in the air for it to be invincible.
Gotcha. Okay. Good.
Let's see what else. So you know about blocking, right? We're basically just rapid firing these, but they're going to be.
Yeah.
We'll play some matches, and then we're not going to go too extreme. So you understand blocking, right? The basics of blocking.
For the most part, yeah. So like if you try to kick me from here, I'm gonna be able to block it.
But you understand, you know the overheads, right?
Yes.
You're familiar with that? Okay, so
Yeah.
if you block high, you block overheads,
Right.
but blocking high makes it so that
Well, yeah.
you get hit by lows.
Yep.
Oh, that was an accident. So that's real simple, right? But what do you do Do you know what to do if someone is just blocking you? If you're trying to get in,
Can
and they're
you
just blocking.
grapple them?
Yes. This is where the triangle comes into play.
Okay.
The most basic part of fighting games is a triangle, which is that block beats hit beats throw, and throw beats block.
Gotcha.
That's the very basics, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in a situation where you're like, let's say you're in the corner, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just hold back.
Yep.
I hit you with this. I have the option to walk up and throw you after that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or if you think that I'm gonna throw you, you could try to throw back. So try to throw me back.
Whoops.
Yeah, that was a heck of a throw.
I forget how to do a throw.
Oh yeah, I guess we should have went over that. That's your two lights together in this game.
Oh, okay.
You lose.
Okay. Alright, it's not coming up for me yet. Hold on. There we go.
Yeah, it takes a second.
Round one.
So it's two lights together?
Yeah. So the way you beat a throw is by throwing back. So when I'm gonna walk up to you, and on reaction, I want you to throw when I touch you, right? Like that exactly.
Okay. Ooh.
Yeah, it's a throw break.
So if we're both trying to throw each other, that
Yep.
creates the throw
Well, that's
break?
also how you like if you're in a position where you're like, let's say I knock you down.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. And like if you think I'm gonna throw you,
Mm-hmm.
you could throw back. Yep.
Gotcha.
It's an escape too. Like you're not always trying to throw the other person. Sometimes you're just blocking, and you're like, I think they're gonna throw here, and you go for a throw. All right, and this is where the triangle gets a little interesting because let's say just hold back
Okay. Oops.
or down back, doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say I do this to you, right? You're in the position, and I just hit you with this, and you blocked it.
Yep.
So like I was saying, I can either walk up to you and throw, or if I think you're getting smart to that, try to break my throw. You ready?
Yeah.
I could just not, and I could put a move out there because I have to walk back in. You're out of range.
Mm-hmm.
See? So that's really the basics. That's the basics of fighting games.
Oh,
That's
okay.
more or less everything.
Sounds simple.
It is actually very simple.
Round two. Fight.
Let's try playing a match.
Okay.
Hadoken.
Nope.
Hadoken. 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 Hadoken.
God.
Shoryuken. Oh yeah. Hadoken. Hadoken. Hadoken.
See, it's that kick. Ah.
Yeah, I don't know if you necessarily want to use that kick, right? You have another way to fight fireballs.
I can jump.
You have an even better way to fight fireballs. Have you considered fireballing the fireball?
Oh, no, I haven't.
You lose.
Oh, okay.
It's a very important part. Well, if you're playing a character with the fireball, it is. It's a very important thing. You kind of got to think like if you're gonna play Ryu. Something that I had explained to me a long time ago is you don't look at the fireball as a projectile, right? You look at the fireball as a normal that has very far range.
Okay.
So, in a lot of situations, you don't use the fireball like here. A lot of times. A lot of times you want to use it in situations where you're not going to get in trouble for it. It's like really far out or really close in. Like at that perfect range where they could jump over it, you're just setting yourself up. And it's like, I'm just poking you. I'm not trying to win by fireballing. Like,
Right.
I'm just trying to poke you.
Aha! Okay. And I have a lot of time to react to that, too. Unless we're, like, really close, then that would be a problem.
Yeah. That's why you kind of think of it as, like, at this range, you think of that as just a long-range normal.
I gotta practice the inputs, too. Also, hi, Angry. Hope you're doing well. Oh, man.
Yeah, practicing, like, quarter circles and stuff will be pretty useful.
Yeah. I feel like I'm out of practice.
Good.
It's fine. Quarter circles are the easiest thing.
Fight.
And I can't get that kick fast enough, like as a reaction.
You're trying to get. I think you're hitting the button too many times.
Oh, you think
because
so?
I'm noticing that every time you do a fireball,
Yep.
you throw a punch out first, like that.
Yep.
And every time you do a tatsumaki, you throw a kick out first, like this.
Huh.
So
Okay.
I think what you're doing is you're hitting the kick a little early. Yeah. Try doing the quarter circle, and when you're forward or back, then you hit the button.
Okay.
Like you almost want them to match. Like, think of it this way: when you think of your stick goes down.
Yep.
Your stick goes down back, and then when you hit back, you could feel the switch. Do you feel the switch when you go from down
Yeah.
back to back?
Yep.
When you feel that switch actuating, you hit the button,
Oh, okay.
and that's the timing for it.
Okay.
And you want to try to do it as one like smooth movement. I wish they had online training mode so I could see your inputs.
That would be nice. Because they're probably a mess. Let's see. See, now I can't even. There we go.
There you go. That's clean.
That was better. We'll get there eventually. Huh.
Yeah, it's one of those things that takes practice,
Yeah.
especially on a square gate, which I think they're better. But if you're like a harsh with your stick, you have to be kind of loose with your stick.
Okay.
Like you don't want to be riding the walls, if that makes sense.
Right.
You lose.
You want to kind of operate in the middle
I see
area.
what you're saying. Yeah.
If you ride the walls, your motions are gonna be bigger than they need to be. If you kind of live in the middle, your motions can be done much quicker.
So you don't necessarily need to be hitting all the edges in order to make it work.
Nope. The reason that people prefer the four-way gate is because you can lock yourself into down back. And if you feel when you're in down back, you feel that your stick won't move.
Yeah.
That's why.
That's like
because
right
people
now,
don't
yeah.
want you when you block down back. You want to make sure you're in down back. It's important,
Right.
and you're not down. Because if you're holding down instead of down back, you'll get hit. It'll look like you're blocking. and
Right.
then
I
you'll get
see
hit.
that. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. Oh, that's looking clean.
Oops. Sorry, didn't mean to get a
No, you're
random
good.
punch in there.
You're good.
Oh man. I don't know why sometimes it's like, it's very 50-50. There we go. I think I'm just gonna have to practice getting used to it.
Yeah. I think it's something you could just practice a little bit.
Yeah. Because I didn't do any practice before this either, so it's very
So
fresh.
another thing I want to point out, which might not be that useful to you right now, is light attacks are not that great. I don't know if you're doing them by accident, but you seem to flail them a lot during gameplay. They're not that good.
Yeah.
In general, light attacks are for like if you feel like you're under pressure. So if I do this to you, you could do a standing light in between it, I think. Well, block the first one.
Okay.
But it might be a frame trap. I don't actually know the frame data for this game. Yeah, it might be it looks like it's a counter hit. But like in general, they're for mashing if you want to get out of something and you think it's a big gap. Or they're for like putting pressure on your opponent. Like you can use lights like in their face because they have, if you block the light, and then after you block it, hold up.
Oh, okay.
This is a good way to tell who recovers first from a situation. So you see I jump first.
Yeah.
So that means I'm recovering first. So that technically means that I get to act before you do, even though you're blocking.
And that's
It's still my turn.
right.
So like that's what lights are used for. Like if I was to do it with this, for example, and you held up,
Oops, sorry.
pretty sure they'd be equal, right? And then if I was to do it with this, you jump way before me,
Okay.
right? You notice? Watch.
Oh, sorry. Whoops.
Just hold up after the block.
Okay. Let's try again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you jump way before me.
Okay.
Because that's a super punishable move. If you were to sweep me back, it would just punish me.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you can hit heavy kick after that, crouching heavy kick, and it'll just hit me. That one's medium, by the way.
Oh shoot, how do I get the heavy?
Heavy's the third one.
Okay.
Do you have heavy kick down?
I don't
It should
believe
be on your stick. The buttons should be at the top. They should be light punch, medium punch, heavy punch.
Mhm.
The bottom should be light kick, medium kick, heavy kick.
so. Gotcha,
Yeah,
okay.
that's your heavy kick.
There we
yeah.
go. Okay.
So like,
Time over.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
So that's probably gonna help me with that.
Final
The thing to
round.
dodge the
Fight.
Hadoken.
yeah, the heavy kick one stays in the air a lot longer.
Okay,
You could do it from further away.
hold on. Try that. We'll get there. Hold on.
I think you're hitting it. If you're getting crouching, if you're getting sweep, you're hitting the button too early.
Oh, okay. There we go.
There you go.
Okay.
Think of it as like a 1, 2, 3, 4, right? When you move your stick, you hear it go 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Then you just add a 4 at that same tempo. The button is the 4, by the way, in that scenario.
Oops. Go.
So for me, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oopsie.
So you can either try to time it so that you hit your button at the same time as you hit the forward or the back, or you could do the tempo.
I think the tempo works better in my head because otherwise
Yep.
I can't. It just mushes all together.
As long as you have a trick, it doesn't matter. Eventually, you'll just get good at doing it by doing it a lot, you know?
Right. Oops. There we go. Yeah, that makes more sense.
You lose.
I'm trying to figure out what else to... The thing with learning fighting games that's a little rough is that the beginning can very easily feel like information overload.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to avoid that because that's always a bad thing. But I think we can introduce one more thing.
Okay.
The concept of footsies. Are you familiar with this concept?
I think well, let me tell you what I think it means.
Yeah.
Basically that you want to remain close to your opponent and know like when there's a opening, kind of like an attack of opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's like a little bit of baiting too, like trying to get them to hit you so that you can react beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
Does that seem right?
That's correct and also incorrect because footsies doesn't have a definition. I think it's just what people
Oh,
use
okay.
to describe all forms of neutral.
Okay.
But what I'm going to teach is basically what you were saying, right? You want to stand at a certain range. So, like, let's take Ryu, for example. Ryu, I know you don't know this. I'm just going to tell you this.
Yeah.
His main poke is crouching medium kick. People love this because you can just kind of shimmy back and forth and then, like, at the right range, that should have been a fireball, but at the right ranges, you can, like, get a fireball. Just a cheeky little fireball in there. People love that. And it's safe, you know? Like, even if you block it, the fireball makes it safe.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if you kind of learn Ryu's range, and you see me go for the kick, you can just kick me back. Like, try kicking me.
Okay. Man, I'm really bad at shimmying.
Time over.
A little hard. My walk speed backwards is not fantastic.
Very difficult
Yeah.
fight.
But the basic idea is that this is called whiff punishing. It's a part of footsies, but like when someone's doing something,
Mm-hmm.
it's a little hard because when you do this, you're always giving yourself like your back to the wall, right?
Right.
The better way to do it is to be on the offense
Mm-hmm.
and not on the defense. Like I have you on the defense now, right?
Yeah.
And now I'm just standing at this perfect range.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm mixing in other things. I'm not just going for the one thing.
Right.
Ooh. Like that. So that's a real basic thing in the game. That's why you don't want to be throwing out these buttons. Because they don't cover much range, and you can hit me with, while I'm doing this, you can hit me with almost anything.
Right. Yeah, those were
You can
purely
bully me.
accident.
No, I'm aware. But I'm only pointing it out because it's
Oh
a
no.
bad
It's,
enough accident that you're almost better off doing nothing.
yeah. It's definitely helpful.
That's one of the things, you don't have to actually learn that, the with punishing thing, but it's something to keep in mind when you're playing, if you do decide to play some.
Yeah.
You lose.
Try to send, you know, ranges where you're not going to get knocked out. I guess another thing to teach for a first lesson would be jumping. Jumping is pretty important. But I think you're familiar with most of the basics of jumping, right?
Fight.
I mean, you have that, and then you could.
Yep.
See.
Well, let's get more specific. You're
Okay.
familiar with the fact that you can't block in the air, right?
Yes.
So that means if you jump at me, well, I can get you out of the air.
Right.
It's an anti-air. Well, I got to be at the right range for it, but yeah. The other thing about the air is you're familiar with crossing up, right?
Explain it to me.
So if I jump at you, do you know how to block this?
I
Right. All right. Now block this. You ready?
Okay.
That's a cross up. It hits you on the other side.
Oh, you're getting behind me. Okay, I gotcha.
Yep.
Oops.
So that's that's a very important thing. People are just going to do this all day online.
Right.
No. They're just going to jump at you and hope for a cross up.
So is this how you take care of it?
I mean, technically it's not incorrect to walk out of it. But, you know, at the right ranges, the right situations, you can't really do much about it except block it. So that is the right way to block it. You're just doing it a little early so you're getting the walk.
Oh, gotcha.
Which is fine. I mean, you want the walk. Realistically, in a real situation, you want the walk. But yeah, you block the other direction. You would block left in that scenario.
Okay, let's try it again.
Good. Round 2. Fight.
It's actually easiest if we get to the corner.
Oh, okay.
Ready?
Yep. Ooh.
Yep.
And I think what's going to come with time and more practice is being able to read, like, what folks' intentions are,
Yep.
what their moves are. Because that's something I noticed right away, is that, like, you can basically see everything that I'm going to be doing.
Yeah, that'll come in time. That's part of playing the game, or playing the player and not the game. Right? That's what I think makes fighting games so special, is you can in my opinion, you can very quickly get to the point of playing the player. I don't think they're particularly hard as a genre. Once you get past the genre as a whole, it's pretty easy to pick up any random fighting game.
Yeah. Okay. Something I was going to say, too, which I'll tell you so that you can kind of know about my habits, is a reason that I really enjoyed Dragon Ball FighterZ was because of the swap that you can have with characters. Because basically I would try to get, like, my opponent up in the air and then just swap the character, you know, have him hit him a few times to keep him up in the air and swap it again. So, I don't know.
Dragon Ball FighterZ was really great for, like, being super accessible, right? Those auto combos were pretty good, and you could swap and you could use supers, right? I mean, I never really played that game. I only played auto combo Dragon Ball FighterZ, and I thought it was fine. It was fun to play with my friends who don't play fighting games.
Right. So
I still bopped them, but like, to the fundamentals. But like, it was a lot closer than it would be if we played like Street Fighter or Guilty Gear.
Yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is that I feel like with this, it's much more like concentrated, much more focused.
Yes. It's a lot more focused on individual moments and like putting yourself in the right position to win. Because these games certainly have checkmates, like where the game's not over but you've lost. But at the same time, you know, you can come back with 1 health. I've done it countless times. You just have to believe in yourself.
You gotta believe. Like
And you gotta talk smack. You gotta talk smack. My go-to line when I have 1 health and I'm playing with my friends is I say, "Watch this,"
Oh my god.
and then they get nervous.
They're like, what are you gonna do? There we go. Keep messing up the Shoryuken. Hold on.
Don't forget the shortcut.
Oh, that's right.
The shortcut is holding down and then down forward, down forward.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna write that down. Okay, hold on.
Let me show you something. Is another one I've used, believe.
Okay.
But I did get away with watched this last night, and I 100-0'd my friend after he got me to 1 health, which felt real nice. Let's see. So I guess one more thing to teach, which you might have to work on your Hadokens for this, is called the 2-in-1.
Okay.
Right? That's it.
Oh.
It's literally just the most basic combo in the game.
So you do
crouching medium kick, and you do the Hadouken.
This is gonna take a while.
It's okay.
All right. I have to remember the counting.
You have to think about this too. You have to think about the fact that when you do 2-in-1s, what's very important is that take the crouching medium kick, for example.
Yep.
You're already holding down. Down's the first input on your Hadouken.
Right.
Right? You're already there. So from that down, you just tilt the stick in the direction you want and then hit punch.
Gotcha. Okay. Hold on. Oops. I was looking at you, not me. Alright. So...
Actually, we can make this easier. Go to the corner. Then I don't have to keep moving forward.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Alright, so it's going to be the medium kick. Oh, dang.
And then quarter circle forward, which you're already hitting the down for.
Right. Huh. Okay.
You just did a 2-in-1 there, but that was off of like a standing jab.
I did it by accident. Okay, hold on. Alright, show me again. And tell me what you're pressing.
Let me try this. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me try. I'm going to put my microphone near the stick, and this might be either awful for everybody or ASMR for the chat. Can you hear my stick? Or no?
No.
My microphone's too good. I was going to let you listen to what the inputs sound like, but basically I'm doing 1, and then once I hit the button, before it hits you, I'm starting my quarter circle forward.
Okay, I hear it a little bit now.
It's called buffering. So the basic idea is that I could do it all day, and the second you walk up to me, walk up, it comes out. It's a very common tactic. You buffer inputs behind your thing, and they only come out if they connect.
Okay.
So that's the reason the 2-in-1 is important.
Final round. Fight.
Now Melty's not unplayable with the auto combos. I disagree with you, Octopus. I think the auto combos in Melty are fantastic for letting people play the game and then get bodied by someone who knows real combos.
Dang, alright. That was closer, right?
Yep. You kind of want to hit it, so it's not like... So, I guess here's an important distinction.
Okay.
This combo, medium punch, medium punch. Try that.
It's just 2 medium punches?
Yep. Same button twice.
Okay.
There you go. See, you timed it and it got 2 hits. There's a distinction here between that combo, which is that you're literally linking, it's called a link, you're linking 2 moves together because of the way the recovery works, and this is a cancel. So if you notice, when I hold down backside, I don't do damage. If you notice, my medium kick has like a pullback animation.
Yeah.
But I'm canceling that. So I'm not waiting for the medium kick to finish and then doing a Hadoken.
Oh.
I'm canceling the animation.
I see.
So you have to do the Hadoken pretty fast.
Mm-hmm.
So give it a try. Like, now that you know that, and it's not like you're...
I
Try to do it like as fast as you can.
Okay. Let's try.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, I pressed too many buttons.
That was close. That was close.
I'd get, like, spammy. It's stupid.
It's okay.
I gotta get out of that habit. Yeah. Where I'm just like,
if you train a little
press
bit doing
everything.
quarter circles, you'll be fine.
Yeah. So that's something I can do on the side, too.
Yeah. I don't even think it's that hard. Like, you can basically take any game and pick the character on the box art, and they always have a quarter circle move.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I actually won that one, technically. Amazing.
Tactically a win.
Round 1. Fight.
Oh, all right.
And that's it. That's the lesson. That's everything. So we can play some games. You know, I'll keep it real simple. I'm not gonna overwhelm you.
Okay.
And we could just try to apply those things.
Okay. All right, we can try it. let's see. Yeah, and I want to try to apply what we learned instead of just spamming stuff, you know? So if it looks like I'm spamming, I don't mean to. Oh, dang. There we go.
Oh, I guess that's something I didn't teach you. There is one more thing, I guess, that would be good for a first lesson.
Okay.
It's that when you get up off the ground, I'll just kill you.
Okay.
When you get up off the ground, you could do something called a reversal. Certain moves are better than others. In Ryu's case, so knock me down with the sweep,
Okay.
and then try to throw me.
Oh.
Oh wait, I think throw might beat it in this game. I forget. That's a reversal. You see how it said reversal on the side?
Yep.
So it's like kind of invincible, very quick. So on top of being an anti-air, this means also reuse reversal. So on knockdown, sometimes if you think that they're going to put pressure on you, you could just input your Shoryuken right when you get up off the ground.
Okay. Oops,
Here, I'll
hold
keep
on.
knocking you down. Give it a try.
Okay. Oh man. I'm sure
You
you
could
can.
just I promise you with this move specifically, you could just kind of mash it out. Although you might get your super, unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah, we got the down forward, down forward. I gotta remember that.
You don't. I don't actually know if knock me down. I don't know if that shortcut works. Oh, I didn't mean to. Just do sweep.
Okay. Oops, wrong button. Sorry.
I don't actually know if that shortcut works if you're on your back on the ground.
I don't think it does because I think he jumped up. Let me try to knock you down again.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that works. It works.
Oh,
Just make sure to keep yourself aligned to the bottom.
yeah. Okay. Damn, I'm just not. Hold on.
And
Do it
then
again.
you can just mash the punch button while you're going back and forth along the bottom of that stick.
Yeah.
Just mash the punch button.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. Can we try again?
That was not it.
Not it.
Technically, you got the. I don't know why you're getting a punch.
I don't know. Huh.
I mean, like I said, the real way to do that move is the Z motion, which is a little more involved, I would say, to do quickly.
Yeah, because I'm trying to
That's like
imagine it in my
years
head.
of practice.
Yeah.
You win.
Well, the best way one of my like shortcuts for the Z motion is if I'm on and this kind of works in all games. It's not like a shortcut because it's Street Fighter V. Like the thing I taught you, the down forward thing is a modern game only thing. If you were to like hop on Fightcade and try to play Street Fighter 2, it would not work ever.
Okay.
Round one.
What I do is, so from the left side, this is only a left side only trick, is I let go of the stick and I use my palm, like the ball, I don't know what you'd call it, the ball of your palm that's like under your pointer finger,
Yeah.
and I put that on the stick, and what I do is I tap forward, let go, and then kind of push it down towards the bottom corner, down and then bottom corner, so it's like one motion. I let the stick actually, I don't pull it back to neutral. I like let go of it. I tap forward, let go, down, forward.
Okay. All right, let me get to the left so I can see.
Yep,
And Shoryuken, it's
You gotta
medium
try.
punch, right?
any of them.
Oh, okay.
There's a light one, there's a heavy one.
Okay. Also, welcome Silver, and thank you. Appreciate it. If we could get a shout out for Silver, that would be great. Okay, so you were saying to use below your index finger, just tap forward.
Tap it,
Mhm.
and then let go, and then when you're very quickly, your stick will return to neutral.
Yeah.
Then tap it again with that ball of your whatever, the under your index finger,
Okay.
and then do down, forward. Lock yourself into that down bottom corner, and then hit the button.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if that's gonna work.
That's a Z motion. Because think about the stick, right? Think about the motion you're doing with the stick. It's
Yeah.
going middle,
Mhm.
forward, technically down, forward. That's a Z.
I think I'm having a hard time imagining the Z, if I'm being honest with you.
See if I can find a visual aid.
Yes.
It was a very difficult fight. Round 2. Fight.
How do you copy the thumbnail of a YouTube video?
You do a snip.
Yeah, but it's so small. Let me see if I can search this on YouTube.
Okay.
Copy the image. Because the image search did not help, but this is useful.
Okay.
Stop autoplaying. Okay. Let me put this on like a... I don't know what web host to use.
You could send it in our Discord DM.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Here.
Let me just take a peek real quick. I'm gonna draw that real quick. Hold on. So it's quarter circle back, quarter circle forward, and then. Oh, that's where you're doing the Z. See, I was imagining the Z like I don't know, from like back to forward and then down and then forward.
No, it's not that complicated. It's a Z because it's forward, down, down, forward. That's technically the input.
Okay, hold on. So, forward. Oh, whoops. Oh, okay. Forward, down, down, forward. Okay. Well, you only got 7 seconds left, so give me a minute.
I'll give you 7 seconds.
Yeah, 7 seconds.
Time over. You lose.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of folks in chat too are familiar with fighting games, so that makes it fun. And I hope that this stuff can be helpful for you guys too.
Round 1. Fight.
All right, forward, down, down, forward. Sorry.
Try it on whatever side you think you're more comfortable on. I personally think the right side's easier because you get to use your thumb.
Yeah, that makes
to
sense.
do it. But when I learned to play Tekken, I learned to use like that area below my index finger a lot. Because Tekken has a lot of motions that require a neutral input.
Okay.
Like as part of the input. It's kind of crazy.
I swear, I'm trying. So forward, down, down, forward. I don't know if I'm not doing it quickly enough.
No, it's a rough input. Yeah, it's not the easiest thing.
Okay.
That's why the shortcut is amazing.
Yeah. I think I'll stick with the shortcut for now. So I'll just have to practice doing that after I'm down.
Probably not as important. One of those things where it's like, just knowing that you're doing it wrong is enough. Because most games are going to have a shortcut for Dragon Punch nowadays. That's part of what I was saying about them being so accessible.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like, old games used to punish you, you know, someone would be jumping on you, and in all that pressure, you better get exactly down, or forward, down, down, forward, or you're getting hit.
Oops.
But, you know, if you're getting jumped on, you know, you don't need to Shoryuken.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm jumping on you, you can crouching heavy punch me. That's reuse other anti-air.
Oh, really?
Heavy, the third one, yeah.
Okay, let's try it.
It was a very difficult fight.
9, 6, and 7:30. Okay, that might help.
Is that gonna help?
It might.
Anime notation too. That's another one.
Anime notation?
Or
What do you
numpad
mean?
notation. Numpad notation. It would be like what? I don't have a numpad in front of me, so I think it'd be like, what's numpad starts 1, 2, 3 at the bottom, right? So it would be 5, 6, 2, 3. Or
Okay.
just 6, 2, 3. I guess is the important part.
Huh. Okay.
And in this scenario, it would be 5, 4, 2, 1. I mean.
Okay.
But yeah, like I was saying, you have other options. So like, look at this. Pretty sweet looking anti-air, right?
Yeah. Oops, sorry.
Give that a try.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump at you,
Okay.
and I'm gonna hit you. a little late. You want to do it in this game specifically. It's different on each game. You're gonna have to relearn, but in this game you kind of want to do them early.
Like when you're at the peak of your jump?
Yeah. No, like you want to hit them at the peak of your fist. So like that's a little too early.
Okay.
Like that was perfect. It's like almost when they're just coming down from their jump.
Right. That's what I was trying to say. Like
Yep.
when they're at the peak of their jump. Like when you reach
Yep.
your highest point on screen.
Yep. Maybe a
Okay.
little later than that, like when they start coming down, I would say.
Okay.
But you know, that's again, that's character by character and game by game, like
Yeah.
super game by game.
So to me, it looked like when you're between like 12 and 1, I would say.
It's gonna depend on which character too. Some characters have floatier jumps. You know, like Dawson has a very floaty jump.
Round 1. Fight.
Some characters drop like stones in the air.
Okay. Oops.
And you could do it like from standing. Like if we're just playing and I jump at you, you could just quickly crouch and do it.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to be like already crouching.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You could just be playing, throwing fireballs, you know, blah blah blah, and then I jump, and you do it.
Oh.
But you kind of have to see it coming. Like
Yeah.
you kind of have to know what your opponent's gonna do. Because if we're playing the fireball game over here, and you throw a fireball back, you're gonna get hit.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Oh.
And it also doesn't really block against cross-up too. That's the big issue with it. But neither does the Shoryuken technically.
Right.
That's like a way more advanced thing to learn to anti-air cross-ups.
Oh.
Good. Round 2. Fight.
All right, back up.
Okay.
We're gonna have a fireball offer. You ready?
Oh god. Okay, I'll try.
I'm gonna use light fireballs.
Okay.
You're gonna use heavy fireballs.
Okay.
The reason for that is throw one. It travels so much faster than mine. Watch
I
mine.
see.
So
Okay.
I'll give you that advantage. But at 75 seconds we start. You ready?
Okay. Oh shoot.
Nice. You lost already. All right,
Thanks.
let's start at 67.
Okay. Dang. Okay. Oh.
Blocking's allowed as long as you don't get hit.
Ah, man. I have to try so hard not to, like, mash the sequence.
You know, it might. What might help you is maybe instead of doing a quarter circle, this might sound stupid and counterintuitive, but it's something I do sometimes.
Okay.
In pressure, try a half circle. Try starting from back and going all the way to the front, like down. You know.
I see what you're saying. Hold on. Okay.
Well, don't forget when you're doing the tempo, you have to add all those extra hits to it. Because now you're passing through more gates.
Hold
Passing
on.
through more switches, I mean.
Yeah. All right.
Time over.
Okay.
You lose.
Yeah, this is just to kind of drill in the quarter circle motions because they're very important.
Yeah, they are. From my
Let's
little
try one more time.
experience. Okay.
Round 1.
Okay, so we're gonna back up.
Fight.
All right, at 90.
Okay.
So we're not in too much of a rush. I went early, so I didn't throw the first fireball.
All right. Dang, I just like lost it completely. There we go. And I know what you want me to do. That's what's frustrating.
I still think you're hitting the because you're getting crouching heavy
Yeah.
punch, which makes me think you're hitting the button too early because you're still down.
Yeah. I see. I see what you're saying with it too. That like even though I'm reacting slower than you are, it's faster. So. Oop.
Yeah, but it's not. It's still, even with the handicap, it's not super fair because I've been fireballing for 14 years. And I know the tricks, like, you can only have one fireball on the screen, right? So you can actually get your next one as soon as you're, like, if you block watch, you get your next one, like, you can queue it up almost. Like, while you're still blocking it, I get my next one out.
Right.
So that's another little trick. That's why I'm getting it so quick, because technically, you don't need any of the motion. Like, you don't have to move. Your character doesn't have to crouch as part of the Hadoken input.
Yeah.
So you can start your Hadoken while your previous one is still on the screen. As long as it's gone by the time you hit the button.
Okay. Too slow.
If I had to ask you, which fireball do you think is the best? Like, just from your perspective, do you think that this one's the best? Or do you think this one's the best?
I think it depends on what you're trying to do with your opponent.
Okay, elaborate.
So I'd say, like, probably if I were closer, I'd want to use the faster one, right? And then maybe if I was further away, I could use the slower one and work on, like, preparing my next move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, in general, yeah. In general, the light ones are really good. I would actually say, in general, the light ones are better, because at this range, they're going to hit you at the same time. Right? But the reason that the light one, I think, personally, the light ones are better. I don't know if it's an opinion. I don't think it is, but it's because they cover more space for longer. So you get to walk up.
Right.
Whereas with this one, I don't really get that much time. It's already hitting you by the time I get free.
Right.
So that's another thing to keep in mind. Like, you know, the light ones, the heavy ones are really good for fireball battles, though. And, you know, if you want to throw a wrench in the machinery, there's also EX fireballs.
Oh, did I not hit the button? I'm sorry.
No. There was no option. First to 10 is the only choice.
Oh, really?
There's no infinite, yeah.
Okay. Huh.
No training mode, no infinite. Perfect video game.
Oh. Got some other weird costumes I didn't realize.
Ryu, beyond the battle, beyond the battle.
Me too.
Interesting. Is this game still on sale? I can't remember.
I think all of Capcom's everything is on sale.
Nice. Yeah, because I got everything plus the DLC for like $20.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I think you probably didn't get the most recent season, though.
It had a season pass. I have to think which one.
Nah, I think there's like an Ultimate Edition, which comes with everything except Season 5.
Oh, okay.
I had to buy Season 5 recently.
Gotcha.
This is the path of my destiny.
Amazing.
This is the path of my destiny.
All right. Do you want to
Boy
try?
Ryu.
Do you want to try to fight for a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
Oh man.
That's a good move too. His solar plex forward heavy punch. It's a nice move. Yep, just forward heavy punch, nothing special.
Okay.
Moves you forward. Pretty good. Technically leads to combos, but in your scenario, I'm probably just Shoryuken. If you can confirm it, I mean, probably a little tough.
Gotcha.
Round 2.
And angry so it's not Frank West enough.
Man, this is a good stage.
It is. Oh, dang. You can just do this all day. I feel bad because I feel like I shouldn't jump in the air.
No, jump in the air all you want.
Trying to do our kick that we did earlier.
You're hitting it too early. That's why you're sweeping.
Whoa.
Well, you're spending meter now. I think you have you're hitting the 4th button instead of the 3rd, which
Oh, I see.
I believe by default is all 3 at the same time, which uses your meter at the bottom.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But we're not really touching that as a lesson. It's very game specific, so we can get into that when you decide a game you want to learn.
Yeah. Ray, I'm not winning, but that's okay. Many failures will eventually lead to some progress, I think.
You know, Bleak's trying to Tatsu through the Hadokens. That's all the sweeping.
Mm-hmm. Use the 4th button if you're a Zangief.
Use the 4th button on a lot of characters. I think you need it for your
Round 1.
your V reversal, right, or whatever it's called.
Ah, you weren't close enough.
Nope, but you did it. You did do it.
I did do it. Oh, shoot. I just feel so dumb. Let's see. Nope. Nope. Wrong button. Oh, I should have tried to punch you in the air.
Yep.
Oh, dang.
Nice, nice, Tatsu.
Trying.
Good. Round 2. Fight.
It's also not very safe, so it's one of those things where it's like it's an option, right?
Right.
But it's not your primary option.
No, I was.
Maybe
Oh no.
I know you just want to see it, but I just want to make sure that that's clear.
No, it's right. I was anticipating that you were probably going to use a Hadoken, but that was incorrect.
Yeah, Mega Man putting in work.
I know.
You lose.
Oh, both lariats are all 3 buttons. Okay. For Zangief. I like him as a character. Like, I enjoy his, general aesthetic.
Zangief?
Yeah.
No, who doesn't like Zangief?
Round 1. Fight.
I'm like too late when it comes to like, oh yeah, I should punch you in the air. It's like 2 seconds later. There we go. Nice work.
Yeah, overhead is very slow,
Yeah,
which I think you might be doing it by accident. I don't actually know.
I am doing it by accident.
Forward medium punch. So if you're holding forward when you hit medium punch, that's why.
I see. Okay. Yeah, I have to be careful about not...
If you have, excuse me, you have a back heavy kick as well,
Uh-huh.
which is different than your heavy kick.
Yeah.
So yeah, you want to not hold, like when you're hitting buttons, not hold random directions, which
Yeah.
truthfully is very hard to do.
No, because what I was going to say was I have to remember that this is... And it sounds so, like, dumb coming out of my mouth, but I have to remember that this is input-based.
Mhm.
So basically, I don't want to be holding stuff if I don't need to. It's just kind of
Yeah.
a habit.
The back generally safe.
Oh, I wanted to do the... I had the wrong button. That 2 combo.
Damn, that was a 2 combo. Oh.
No. You know what I'm talking about. The 2 middle punches.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a parry.
Oh, it's a parry. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what you're talking about, actually. That's specific to this game. The 2 middle buttons are like your V skill.
No,
for
I'm
Ryu.
sorry. No, the medium punch. The just doing it twice.
Oh, I thought you meant the 2 medium buttons together. I figured.
Oh, no.
That?
Yeah. That's what I was trying to do. Huh.
Yeah, that's like the most optimal combo to learn as a new player. Like that. That's good damage.
I'm doing the solar punch. What would you say is the best thing to do once you have the other person down? Because I feel like my go-to would be just like trying to crouch and kick them.
No, I think it depends on the situation, right? I'm a big fan of like hitting him with the overhead.
Oh, gotcha.
Flips. I always do like this. I always try to do like whiff a move and then hit him with the overhead. Like whiff a low so they think to block low. But you know, it's all up to you. Like you can do the overhead. Doesn't lead to much though. You can do a low. The best thing to do in general is probably realistically to like just if they're gonna even block on wake up. Just that is fine too. Because if they hit a button after your first one, thinking that it's their turn, let me knock it out and then block.
Oh, sorry.
So if you block it and then you hit a button thinking that it's your turn, that'll hit you. But that's like a little specific. What you do when they get up is very game dependent. You could pressure them, you could not pressure them. Like you can pressure them until you get the feeling that they're gonna do the wake up, like the reversal, and then you could just let them do it. Because in most games, I want you to sweep me, and then when I wake up, block.
Okay.
And then hit me with heavy kick afterwards.
Oh, shoot, sorry.
Nope, just regular heavy kick.
Oh.
No, after you block. So you're gonna knock me down. I'm
Okay.
gonna do the Shoryuken, block that, and then when I land, hit me with heavy kick.
Okay.
See, in this game, you have something called a crush counter. So what you did there, you spun me out. That move doesn't normally do that. But because you were punishing me for trying to get you with the Shoryuken, it gives you a spin out, which actually leads to a full combo.
Okay.
So like it's game specific. You could try to bait them like into doing something stupid, you know, or you could just throw them. That's a classic. That's the classic.
Oh, man.
A throw is probably one of the easiest ones at your level. I would say your mix-up when you knock someone down is to either hit them or throw them. Keep it pretty simple.
Oh, no. Oh, man. Whoa. What's going on?
Depending on my meter.
Oh, okay.
In this game, if you hit 2 punches to do your Hadoken or 2 kicks to do your Hurricane kick, it'll use one of your meters to like make it stronger. For fireballs, it's pretty important because it gives them 2 hits. So if you're in a fireball war, it lets you kind of win.
Round 1. Fight.
The meter, the blue stuff down there, the EX bar.
Yeah.
Ooh, went over it. About time.
I did something. Oh, dang.
More importantly, something you intended to do.
Yes. That's the important part. Oh, dang. See, I got some bad habits, but I think with practice, it'll get better. No, I'm glad that we started this, because at least now I understand, like, some of the things that I should be aiming for, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just being like, I'm hitting the things and hoping for the best.
Yep, and like the 2-in-1 rule that I was teaching you, that applies to
Yeah.
most things. Like for example, you could tack that onto the end of your, I guess I killed you, but you can tack that onto the end of your combo. Like most moves can be canceled into a special. It's just a feature of most fighting games. Like tack it onto the end of this. You could tack it onto your crouching medium punch. Technically, you could tack it onto like your light punch, but it doesn't really connect. Your heavies usually you can't. Depends on the character and the move. Like I'm pretty sure, so I can off my heavy punch. I don't think I can off that. I think I can off the back one. Yeah, back heavy kick. So like it's one of those things you just kind of experiment. But once you learn to special cancel into moves, you can kind of add that to your game. That's why getting quarter circles down is very important, because you'll be using them a lot. Like especially in Street Fighter, you'll be using them a stupid amount.
Round 1. Fight.
See, sometimes it's... What I'm noticing too is like it's hard for me to close the gap. Like if you walk away from me, or if you throw me and I end up being further away, I'm not sure what to
You
do.
just jump. Or, you know, one thing that took me a long time to learn in this game is the walk forward block. Literally just walk forward, block it. Walk forward, block it. Like, I would show you, but can you do a bunch of fireballs in a row, you think?
Probably not. If I'm being honest.
Literally just like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't have to be super impatient. Like, there's no reason to...
Oops.
There's no reason to worry and be like, I gotta close the gap. Like, just walk forward and block.
Okay. Oops.
That was just walk forward, which I don't recommend.
Alright, let me try.
Alright, back up.
Okay.
Alright, ready?
Yeah.
You're too afraid of the fireball. You can go... Don't forget, you can lock your stick down back very quickly. So that's what I do. Like, do it to me again. When I do it...
Oh, okay. Hold on.
When I do it, I like down back very quickly.
I see.
So you don't have to like be so like, oh, I gotta block now. I gotta block now. Like, you could walk up, do it again. Watch how close I'll get to your fireball and
Okay.
block.
Oops, hold on. I see.
So you don't have to like, you'll get a feel for it, but there you go. There we go.
Ah.
A little harder because I'm very fast with the fireballs, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you're in, right?
Yeah.
You only had to block. I mean, I don't really know how much of your health that did. Block one? So it did a
like
good amount. It probably did the equivalent of like 75% of one hitting you.
Okay.
But the thing is, I was using light fireball. So let's see what this looks like with heavy. You ready?
Yeah.
A little harder.
Yeah.
But don't forget, when you're full screen, another thing to consider, jump over it.
Oh, yeah.
I can't punish you, right? I can't anti-air you from that distance. So you can like throw a fireball to me.
Oops, hold on.
you could jump over the first one, and then when you're at this range, you could start kind of inching your way forward.
Right.
So at really long range, you don't have to worry about jumping as much. It's mostly when you're getting in their anti-air range you have to worry about it. Another good thing too, like another useful thing, because I assume if you hop online, you're probably going to run into people mashing Fireball. Neutral jumping Fireballs is really good too. So like throw a Fireball.
Yeah.
The reason it's so good is because remember what I told you about how you can't throw another one till that one's off the screen?
It has to go all the way to the end.
Yeah.
And you're not, making the screen change.
Yep.
Ha.
So it gives you a little more time. You could land and then like step forward. I don't recommend dashing, I guess.
Yeah.
But,
can I try it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm gonna throw a Fireball right as soon as it can. You ready?
Okay.
That was too early.
What?
But it's still traveling. See? I whiffed because I'm getting the punch because I still can't throw it.
Yeah.
But with the faster one, it's not that crazy. It's like not hurting me that much.
Yeah.
But it's still an option for you. I mean,
Gotcha.
that's just another thing. That's more of like a buying time thing. It's sort of like the equivalent of passing your turn in a game. Like I'm just gonna pass this turn.
Okay.
I don't want to deal with it right now, and maybe they'll change up what they're doing.
Okay. Ugh.
Yeah, I think you could just punch. At this range, you just throw out a light crouching medium kick. Like when you're at that range, that's your goal, right? To get to the crouching medium kick range.
Right.
Which you're not in yet. You're not in yet. You're almost in. Now you're back out. You're back out. You're gonna run out of time.
Stop. Stress me out. No, I get it though. Oh man. Okay.
Round 2. Fight.
Oh man, it's hard to see that range.
Yep. It's hard to judge.
Yeah. Nope. I unintentionally dodged that one.
Judging the range of stuff will come later when you pick a game and you pick a character and you like try to actually learn.
Right.
Like I don't really know Ryu's ranges in this game, to be honest with you. I know Ryu's ranges in Street Fighter 2. I know all of Guile's ranges, but like I don't know them in this game. Technically the same character, but not the same game. I know them in Street Fighter 4 too. I played so much Street Fighter 4. I don't know how many hours I've played of this. I think Steam says 180, but that's never correct.
Yeah. So you're probably playing on other platforms and stuff, right?
Other platforms, at friends' houses.
Yeah.
And stuff. Like I think I ended up with like 500 hours in Street Fighter 4, which I think is way off because of how much I played that game. I probably played close to 3,000 hours of that game.
Wow.
Round 1.
My friends used to come over like every other Saturday to my dorm room. And we just get Little Caesars and play Street Fighter.
That sounds like a good time. Just letting you hit me.
Yeah, that's the thing with the fireballs. Nice walk forward block.
Oops. Don't mean to make him throw elbows. It looks so silly.
And don't forget about the throw thing. It's
Yeah.
another important. It's both the lights together. So I always have, the way I keep my hand is I always have, this might be a Street Fighter habit. I have my thumb on light kick.
Yep, that's what I have.
And
then
my
I have
pointer
my
on light punch. And then,
middle finger
punch,
on
heavy
mid.
punch. That way I can always quickly throw. Because it's very important. You're going to always want your like thumb and your pointer to be your...
Yeah.
It's different in different games again. Like Guilty Gear is just dust button. Or heavy clutch, depending on the Guilty Gear. But in Street Fighter, you always want to be ready to throw tech.
Oh man.
Oh, that was a mistake.
Oops. Alright, so my plan is I'm gonna watch the VOD and I'm gonna take some more notes. And then I just want to practice like the moves on here. I think that will help.
I mean, I think this is probably enough. You could probably, I would say, hop out the lobby, do 15 minutes of training mode.
Yeah.
So we're not just going back and forth.
It's go time.
I'll tune it to the screen.
Oops.
No, I kicked.
Oh.
I'm sending you to training mode.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna turn on the stream.
Oh no.
I'm gonna mute it though.
Okay, so I just go down to training here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What are your thoughts so far?
I would probably bet on your opponent if I was a gambling man. But that's not, you know, the end of the world. We could work on that. I think the thoughts are fine. I think you've got to practice the quarter circles. I think you have. I mean, you've played enough fighting games. You have decent fundamentals of like just understanding what's happening on the screen. I think it's just a matter of harnessing what you know and not mashing it out.
Yeah.
If you clean up your inputs, and then I think you could just learn to play the game. Learn to play the whole genre, honestly. So that's my honest thoughts.
I hate that they threw this ad in here.
Yeah, I think actually you could turn it off in the main menu.
Oh, okay. All right.
I think their dream was to have an ad-supported free-to-play game.
Gotcha. Yeah, so for whatever reason, I can't do that 2 medium punch that we were doing earlier.
Yes, you can.
Oh, there
That
we go.
one you have to time, though. Yeah. That's like a... You can't just mash it out. You have to actually time the input. You hit it. You basically, with the way combos work in Street Fighter, is you do it a few times in training mode, and you listen to the beat. And you hit the button. And you just kind of remember the beat for all of your combos.
Yeah. Okay. And then there was this one. That one's pretty easy. I added some extra to that Shoryuken, I think.
Yep, that was a crouching jab.
I don't know why I do that.
That one was clean, but that one wasn't.
Yep.
Make sure that you're doing... Don't forget, you have to go into the bottom right corner twice before you hit the button. So you start down, down forward, pull it away, down forward again, and then you hit the button.
Okay, hold on. Okay. Let me try that again. Nope.
It's looking cleaner already.
Oh, no. I'm not going back far enough, I think. Hold on.
You don't have to pull it all the way back. You just have to make sure you go back to neutral. Like the middle. But like that's why what I was teaching you is it might be easier for you to do, at least at first, instead of doing it in a cleaner way, you would do down, down forward, then pull it all the way to the left, and then back all the way to the right, and then hit the button. I think that works. I could be wrong. I might be wrong. You might not be able to pull it that far back, but...
Hold on. So it's down, forward, right?
Yep. Maybe you can't pull it that far back. I don't know. The down back might break the input.
Hold on. Down, forward, down, forward.
Down, forward, punch.
Yeah.
After, yeah. For the down, forward one, I would recommend trying to time, like, because that one doesn't have, like, a beat to go with.
Yeah.
I would recommend timing the punch as soon as or shortly after you get locked into that corner. So, like, you almost want them to happen at the same time.
It's getting better.
Yeah, there you go. That was like 8 in a row. With a Hadoken thrown in there, but you know.
Yeah, for some spice. Oops.
Yeah, keep it interesting.
Yeah. Alright, and then, let's see. So, you probably just want to use that for the Hadoken, or when else would you want to use that?
Use what?
The donkey kick? Or
the donkey kick or the hurricane kick? The
hurricane
donkey kick is
kick,
quarter circle forward kick, by the way. Now that you could do quarter circles, you could take a look at it. It's the same as Hadoken, except you hit kick instead of punch.
hold on. That?
Yeah. No, that was forward medium punch, I'm pretty sure. Or forward medium kick. I think that's just your medium kick.
Huh. Hold on.
Is it? I think it's quarter circle forward kick. I have to look up a Street
Oh, is
Fighter
it your
V
heavy kick?
move list. Maybe it's heavy kick only? I don't actually know.
Look at these sheep. They're like, wow. Amazing.
This website doesn't even have it listed. No, not Street Fighter 6. Oh, never mind. It's half circle forward kick. That's why. So don't worry about it.
Okay.
I didn't even realize it was a half circle forward because I just do them instinctively instead of quarter circles.
Gotcha.
Because the reason I do them instinctively, by the way, is because, think about this. If you're walking forward and you want a Hadoken, what happens? Like if you take a step forward and then do a Hadoken.
Okay, hold on. Oh, shoot.
Don't like stop. Like let's just make believe you're playing a real game. Yeah, like that. Like very quickly.
Yeah, it's tough.
You
Hold
get
on.
a dragon punch.
Right.
But you don't if you step forward and do a half circle. Because the back overrides the forward, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's not something you have to worry about, but I'm just explaining the reason why I do half circles.
Okay.
It's just from years of playing these games, I like learn to optimize what I want to do.
Well, that's definitely gotten better.
Yeah, that looks clean.
Okay. Nope. I feel so slow. Like, I think... I don't know.
It's fine to be
like
slow, as long as you're clean.
Yeah, it's like playing an instrument. Like, you want to make sure you're hitting stuff right.
That's exactly it. If you gotta play the song a little slower while you're learning, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah. Okay. What else am I missing that we reviewed?
Let me take a look at my notes.
Okay.
Let's see. We've got Ryu commands. Hurricane kick goes over fireball. Shoryuken's your anti-air, and so is crouching heavy punch. So don't forget about crouching heavy punch. Taught you the DP shortcut, which is the Shoryuken shortcut. The triangle. You know the triangle, right?
Can we go over that again?
Alright. What is hit beat?
What?
Hit, throw, block. What is hit beat?
Okay, throw block?
No. Hit and throw and block. That's the triangle.
Oh, I see.
Which one does hit beat? Throw or block? If you had to guess. Or let's make it easier. Which one does block beat? Hit or throw?
Block beats hit.
Yes.
And then throw beats block.
Yep.
And then hit beats throw? Okay.
Not really, but yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. That's a triangle. And that's basically everything. And then there's like just kind of Footsies notes, just basic like learn your spacing, which is not something that I can really teach you as much as I think it's worthwhile to make you aware of it. Because if you do hop online, people are going to do it to you. And now that you're aware that the spacing exists, you will learn through losses.
Right.
Right? If you were to go online and get stopped, you'd still be learning a ton because you'd be able to, like, it's sort of like net decking in an online game, card game, right? You're watching how they play and you're kind of absorbing the info. It's like, oh, he stays over here. Every time I hit this button, he blows me up.
Okay.
Are you jumping into rank now?
Who, me?
Yeah. Take this Ryu into rank. Let's go.
Right now?
Yeah. Why not? What do you have to lose? I think you're the 1,875,000th best player in the game right now.
Awesome. Okay. How do I get there? Let's see. Go to main menu.
You just quit. Go to main menu. Yeah. Oh no, actually, you could turn fight request on. No. From training mode, you can actually request fights, so you can keep doing training mode while you wait.
Oh.
So that's what I would do, so you can at least beat up on the AI.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no reason not to play a few. I think this is also a good time to do it, because I think there's a lot of people probably just picking up this game on sale, getting ready for Street Fighter 6. And the Capcom announced a $2 million prize pool. Everybody and their mothers coming out of the woodworks.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah, it's a big prize pool.
Okay, hold on a sec. So
I think you hit start, and then
find fight. Oh, fight request.
Yeah, fight request settings. Network match fight request settings.
Oh,
I
gotcha.
believe is the right menu.
Ranked match on. Oh god. Oh man. Okay.
It makes you feel any better, you can't. I don't think your score can get any lower. So
can't get any worse.
What do you have to lose? Yeah, now you have to unpause, and then you'll see it
searching for an opponent. Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna hop in your ranked game real quick.
Okay. Well, wish us luck, chat. And Angry's your favorite Zangief to play?
Zangief is a real good choice. I don't have the cojones to play Zangief. It's a lot of work. It's a labor of love. Oh man. First game and you're already running into the degenerates.
Oh no.
Cammy and Ken players.
They're level 9. Is it rude to also like skip the initial like here's the fighters?
Some people think it's rude. I skip them. I don't really care.
Okay. Oh no. Okay. Ah, shoot, I should have punched her.
No, it's fine. Oh. She's going for it. Whenever you see someone try to sweep you, I guess you have to learn. Oh, that was nice. Nice anti-air. You have to learn what they look like, but that when she spins around, that's her sweep. You could just sweep them back if you block
it. Shoryuken.
Oh, nice throw. I'm on stream, so I'm a couple seconds behind.
That's okay. As long as I have your support. Oh, shoot. It's like so much to keep in my head. Hold on. Hadoken, come on. I don't know what that was, but I think I dodged it.
Don't worry, she's cheating. She's using the game
specials.
Mechanics.
Oh, damn her. Aw. Oh, I did it. Yatta! I didn't realize.
Nice.
Phew.
You got around on Duper Sanic.
Ah, shoot. I wasn't expecting that.
Don't forget, you can use your meter too, so you can throw a Hadoken with two punches, and it'll come out if it's twice.
Yeah, honestly, I'm just trying to get the basics in terms of understanding where I should be at.
No, you've got it.
Damn. Get her already.
There you go. You swept your sweep, though. You did it.
It's the little things. Shoot.
Vanishing Flat, I really like Green Hand Octopus, but it is kind of a useless move. Unfortunately. As much as I love using it in Street Fighter 4.
I'm trying not to lose my cool, too. Shoot. Well, that's alright. Still got another.
You're golden.
Final round.
And honestly, losing is not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Yet doing these things in a real match adds the stress of being in a real match.
Yeah, and
which makes it like it really grinds it into your head.
Yeah, for sure. And I think this person might be not expecting me to block as much as I am. Well, now I'm not blocking, but
I get the idea that they just throw those out and people get hit, which I guess you're people now.
Yeah, I am people.
Throw more, by the way. When she gets in,
should.
I would just throw her ass. Sorry, I get a little violent.
Oh no, I don't
about
care.
fighting games.
I don't care. Ah, damn. Oh, I should have punched her. She gets me with that.
This guy's doing that. I'm pretty sure this guy's doing the same thing as you. He's like backing up. He's like, time for my quarter circle motion.
Yeah.
So it's not the end of the world. You got a round.
I did. Small victories. Double heavy to activate the V trigger.
We didn't even go over V trigger or any of that.
No. Because that's game specific, right?
I mean, you could learn it. It's not the end of the world, but yeah. I didn't want to do... I'm kind of trying to avoid information overload, you know? Like, really learning fighting games for the first time is very quickly information overload.
Dang. Alright, hold on. I feel like they're
oh, that was
learning
a nice
my tricks.
That was a really sick anti-air, though.
Thank you. Ah, shoot. I should have done it again. It's alright.
Don't forget sweep back. Whenever you see her, whenever you block that stupid sweep, that spinny kick, just sweep her right back as fast as you can.
Okay.
Because she's doing it to you. There you go. That was nice. We've punished it. Nice. Get out of the freaking air, idiot.
Oh man, and then I just went in the air.
No, that was
That's
a really good DP though. If she didn't stop in the air like that, you would have Shoryuken her out of the sky.
I did it. Huzzah.
Oh my god, this is so tense. This is sick.
Round 2. Fight.
The Hadoken helped against that. Her spiral arrow or whatever she calls it.
Mm-hmm. And I think only the one where she glows yellow goes under it.
Ah,
Nice throw.
block. Ah, should have punched her? I feel like I'm gonna be saying that a lot.
2 in 1.
Oops. That was a little late, but still kind of worked. Yes!
Oh, yeah.
Screw
First
you and your
win.
fancy moves.
That's a lot of health you got left, too.
Yay! Oh, I got an achievement. I know Kung Fu. Nice.
Yo, Angry Octopus, are you familiar with... you're a Zangief player. Are you familiar with the Snackish special? I'm curious. I recommend going to YouTube and typing the Snackish special. It's like snack like something you eat. It's a classic Street Fighter 4 setup by a guy called Aqua Silk. And he would do it, and he'd look at the screen, like the camera, and he'd just go, the Snackish special, every time. It's a really sick Zangief setup, though. We used to do it at Next Level in New York City. Used to watch their streams a lot. Ooh, Hadoken out of the sky.
Ah. Whoa.
Oh.
Didn't know where I went for a second. Oops. I feel better that at least I have like a general plan. That feels nice. I can feel myself getting impatient.
Fine, throw a Hadouken. Forget this guy. Forget this nerd. Throw fireballs. He's always going to do the thing where he spins in the air and then he just does nothing and he hits you low. So you can either block it or you can punch him out of the sky. See, even though Cammy doesn't have a fireball, it's still useful to walk forward block. Because you never know when she's going to shoot at you from across the screen. So it's still the same idea. Yeah, exactly. See? Walk forward and you blocked it.
It's like, I'm creeping closer.
Yep.
Oh.
That's the general idea.
I didn't mean to do that,
you got
but...
her. Doesn't matter. Look at that health bar. Get out of the sky. Get out of the sky.
Nice. Man, this is like the longest I've ever survived in a ranked match. Honestly. This feels
is
good.
Really going down to the wire. Oh, yeah.
Ah.
That was big damage.
Yeah. Ouch. Spiral arrow is annoying.
Yeah, the Snackish special. It's one of my favorites. The Snackish special. Aqua Silk was a god amongst men.
Ah, shoot, wrong button.
Or Zangief was crazy good. He had that anti-air super that was really fun protecting Russian skies.
Ah.
Just sweep her back.
I know, I'm sorry.
No, don't
Sorry,
apologize.
coach! I did it, though.
There you go. Easy, dude. It wasn't even an idiot thinking to challenge you.
The fool.
Their stuck is though 1,875,440,000 whatever. That's the year gonna go up. Your rank is going up.
Nice, nice. Hooray. Okay, return to previous mode.
Whatever you want to do.
Assuming?
I mean, you won. You could call it on your win if you want to.
I could. That might be nice. That might be a good way to end it.
That might be the thing to do. That's what I would do. Hit start. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you turn off the fight request at least. I would definitely network match fight request settings. Yeah.
Okay.
I would definitely go out on that win.
Okay. Well, this was... Oops. I thought I did it. Did I not? Off. Can we keep these settings, please?
No, make sure to apply.
Yeah, yeah. Oops.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I think that's a good place to call it. I really appreciate you taking the time to teach me all this stuff, and I hope that it was relatively helpful to anybody else who might be joining us today. When do you want to do this again?
I don't know. I mean, my schedule's pretty open for
Okay.
the most part, so
Okay.
basically whenever.
Yeah, so like I said, in the meantime, what I'll do is I'll probably boot this up and try some more ranked matches or try to practice some moves, and I want to watch the VOD again to re-listen to everything.
Yeah, I could send you the notes too.
Okay, that sounds good.
They're very loose. They're not like I just wrote the basic ideas, but it might help. I can't figure out how to turn off the ads. Someone told me you could turn off the ads apparently, but in Street Fighter 5, I mean, those loading screen ads.
Yeah.
Can't find them. Whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would say that's what I would say. I would say you do some practice. You hit me up when you feel like you've practiced enough that you can mostly get Hadokens down. Shoryukens is whatever. Hadokens and Hurricane Kicks, as long as you feel like you can get those down. And I would try to practice the 2-in-1.
2-in-1. Okay.
You know, the crouching medium kick into the Hadouken. I would try to get that down as well.
I'm just writing it down.
And then I think from that point, I can kind of craft the next lesson.
Okay. All right, and then maybe eventually I can get good enough that I can play some of your friends and stuff. But that's a goal further away.
I don't know if you want that.
Oh no.
They're mean.
Oh. All right. Well, we'll see.
I think the goal is to get you good enough that you can break into silver on your own.
How far away is that?
Not that far. You're already 1/15 of the way there, technically, by winning that ranked match.
Okay, good.
Pretty sure silver starts at 1,000 or 1,500, and you already got 120. So it's not a huge goal. It's more. I would say don't shoot for the heaven, right? Don't shoot for the heavens. A lot of fighting games is practice and time.
Yeah.
Right? You don't just do lessons and you're good at it.
Right.
So it's a lot of applying it. And, we're adults now. It's not like college where you're going to go grind 15 hours straight of Street Fighter. So
yeah, I understand.
I think we get you to a point where you could do well online and you feel like you have some skills you can transfer to other games.
Okay.
And I think that's my overall goal. To give you a point where you can teach yourself.
That sounds good.
So.
Alrighty. Okay. Well, again, folks, on my side, if you're not already following Pobega, please do. He occasionally streams some. How would you describe them? Like small developer horror games,
I haven't
interesting
streamed in
horror
so long.
games. Yeah, you do some Monster Hunter.
I would
too.
call them garbage horror games.
Garbage. Okay.
Dumpster. I call it dumpster diving.
Yeah. All right. And let's find somebody to raid. Do you have any recommendations, Pobega? Is anybody you like live?
Nah, no smaller streamers I like are live, so.
Okay. Let's see. We could jump over to a Gumpla builder, or I could just try to find some random person online that's playing a fighting game. We could do that. Let's see, who else is playing Street Fighter 5?
Let's see, I'll take a quick look.
Okay. Yeah, thanks
Street Fighter
everybody.
5 is a very strange thing. I don't think anybody that's like a small to medium tier streamer that I'm familiar with is playing, honestly. But I don't really follow Street Fighter 5.
Yeah.
The only person I know that's live right now is definitely don't. I wouldn't rate him. I don't know what the hell he's playing. I think he's playing like Guilty Gear DS.
Okay.
Yeah, I got nobody.
All right. Let me see this person. Yeah, let's jump into this random person and just see how it works. If they're not great, I'm sorry. Let's try it. All right, everybody.
Peace out. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Have a fantastic evening.
You too. Take care, everybody. See you probably tomorrow. All right, bye.